Welcome to the ASCEND Leadership Lab information session. We are so super excited that you're here and joining us and learning more about ASCEND. We deeply appreciate the time you're taking to learn more and invest in your own personal and professional growth. My name is Dr. Kimberly Honnick, and I serve as the founding senior faculty and program architect of ASCEND. I spent over 30 years in education, serving 28 in our public schools from teacher to assistant superintendent of schools. And I spent 6 years in Head Start serving as director of education. Right now, I'm leading my business full-time as founder and chief vision officer of Bono's Learning. Let's jump in and get started to learn more about ASCEND. ASCEND was created because early childhood leaders are being asked to carry executive level responsibilities. Today's leaders are navigating staffing shortages, compliance requirements, federal monitoring pressures, organizational sustainability, family needs, staff well-being, and culture building all at the same time. Many leaders have grown into their roles through experience, commitment, and service, but they may not have had access to a sustained leadership experience designed specifically for the complexity of their work. ASCEND exists to close that gap. This is not about adding more professional development to already full plates. It is about creating the kind of leadership experience early childhood leaders deserve. Leadership in early childhood can be deeply meaningful, but can also feel isolating. Many leaders are making constant decisions, responding to urgent needs, managing compliance demands, supporting staff, and trying to find time for strategic thinking and planning. ASCEND acknowledges that reality. The goal is not to pretend leadership is simple. The goal is to give leaders a structured space to think, reflect, test ideas, and grow with other leaders who understand the work. ASCEND is not a workshop series. It is not passive learning. It is not a sit and get experience. ASCEND is a leadership lab intentionally designed to be that way. Participants bring real organizational challenges into the experience and work on them over time through coaching, learning teams, reflection, and applied leadership practice. The experience is cohort-based, job-embedded, and grounded in systems leadership. Participants are not simply learning about leadership, they are practicing leadership in real time. ASCEND is powered by the Elevate method, the leadership framework I created to guide leaders from intention to transformation. The Elevate method includes empower, lead, engage, vision, align, transform, and elevate. This framework helps leaders strengthen people, systems, culture, and organizational impact. It is not theory for theory's sake. It is a practical leadership model that participants will use throughout the ASCEND experience as they identify challenges, analyze multiple measures of data, align their systems, implement solutions, and measure impact. ASCEND is an 18-month hybrid experience. Participants will engage in monthly leadership lab sessions, which will be Zoom calls, teaching calls, coaching labs, lab-based learning teams, 2 in-person intensives, an executive leadership capstone, a final graduation showcase. The design is rigorous, but completely manageable. We know leaders are carrying real responsibilities, so the rhythm is intentionally structured to support learning, application, reflection, and implementation over time. The program was deliberately designed around a school year calendar that most early childhood agencies and centers would be on. And so you don't have to worry about busy times a year, or that we understand all of that and have constructed the schedule accordingly. ASCEND is designed to provide more than content. It's designed to provide a leadership community. Participants will build relationships with leaders from across the country, engage in learning teams, receive executive coaching, learn from thought leaders, and participate in in-person intensives in Puerto Rico. Yes, I said Puerto Rico. So the two in-person experiences I discussed in the previous slide are going to be held at the Head Start East Conference in Puerto Rico in April of 2027, and then the graduation will be in April of 2028. The experience creates space for leaders to step back from daily demands and think strategically about the organizations they are building. The curriculum is organized around 6 core pillars: leadership, identity, and mindset, mission, vision, and strategy, people systems, resources and sustainability, coaching and continuous improvement, federal monitoring readiness. And federal monitoring readiness is woven throughout the experience, so it is not treated as a standalone compliance topic. The goal is proactive leadership, not reactive compliance. Leaders will examine how data, systems, people planning, and culture all connect to organizational readiness. One of the most important parts of ASCEND is the executive leadership capstone. Participants will identify a real organizational challenge and work on that challenge throughout the experience. They will apply the Elevate method, use multiple measures of data, and design thinking, implement solutions, measure impact, and present their work nationally. This is not a final assignment. It is a body of leadership work. The capstone is designed to help participants produce meaningful impact on their actionable organizations. So the capstone is going to be reflective of a problem of practice that fellows will engage in throughout the course. And that problem of practice is something they're working on directly back in their own agencies and centered. It is not theory. It is not a made-up scenario or case study. Participants leave ASCEND with stronger executive leadership capacity, strategic clarity, systems thinking, habits, implementation confidence, monitoring readiness, a national leadership network, and the distinction of becoming an ASCEND Fellow. This experience is not only about becoming a better leader, it is about becoming the kind of leader who builds better systems, better teams, and better organizations. The founding cohort is intentionally limited to 30 leaders nationwide. There will only ever be one founding cohort, and that really matters. The leaders who join us this first cohort will help establish the culture, standards, and legacy of ASCEND. Future cohorts will follow, but the founding cohort will always hold a unique place in the story of ASCEND. From the Head Start East perspective, this is exactly the kind of national leadership the field needs. We are excited to help bring the right leaders into this founding cohort. ASCEND is designed as an organizational leadership investment. This is an 18-month experience that includes leadership labs, coaching, learning teams, in-person intensives, the Elevate method, and the executive leadership capstone. The goal is not short-time inspiration or short-term motivation. The goal is sustained leadership growth and organizational impact. For many participants, this may be an agency-sponsored investment connected to leadership development, succession planning, professional learning, coaching, retention, and organizational readiness. So there is an enrollment link that can be found on ascendheadstart.org. The tuition for the founding cohort, we have an early bird tuition, which is $6,997. And then the standard will be $7,997. The cost for the tuition includes Head Start East Conference registration for both April 2027 and 2028. It does not, however, include travel expenses. The next step is super simple. If Ascend aligns to where you are headed, we invite you to complete the enrollment form, which can be accessed at ascendheadstart.org. And if you have any questions, you can absolutely email me at ascend, ASCEND, at bonoslearning.com. You'll see that right here in the Let's Connect section. And it's BOKNOWZ learning.com. And we encourage you to reflect on whether this experience aligns with your leadership goals and the needs of your organization. And again, please visit ascendheadstart.org. So we want to thank you for being a part of this conversation. Ascend was built for leaders who are ready to lead with greater clarity, strengthen systems, develop people, and create lasting impact. There will only ever be one founding cohort. If this experience aligns to where you are headed, we invite you to take the next step. The future of early childhood leadership will not simply be inherited, it will be built. Rise with purpose, lead with clarity. If you have any other questions, please email me at that email address here on the screen, ascend@bonoslearning.com, and I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you for the gift of your time, and we hope to see you in the founding cohort.